Let us pray. O God of many names, on this day we gather to celebrate great achievements. We gather as people from many creeds, many tongues, many colors, many families, many cultures, and many beliefs. Yet we celebrate this day in unity. For we gather today to celebrate all that we have achieved, all that we have learned, and all the people who have helped us arrive at this milestone. For all the families gathered here, may we give thanks for the ways they have supported us. May we find gratitude for the ways they have pushed us. May we offer forgiveness where they have hurt us. May we understand when they have not known how best to support us. For all of the professors gathered here, may we use the wisdom they have passed on to us. May we give thanks for the ways they have challenged us. May we be grateful for the times they did not go easy on us. May we remember them long after we leave this place. For all the friends gathered here, may we tell them how grateful we are that our paths crossed. May we thank them for being with us when we've laughed, cried, celebrated, or grieved. May we reflect on how we have encountered the divine through being in relationship with them. May we work to ever strengthen the bonds we have formed with them as the years go on. And for all the graduates gathered here, may we take great pride in what we have accomplished in our years at Drew. May we take all that we've learned here and offer it to the world for the sake of its betterment. May we seek improvement when we have not performed at our best. May we be content when we have done the very best we can. May we represent Drew University to all the world with pride, intelligence, integrity, compassion, and courage. Be with us as we celebrate the beauty of this day and allow us to celebrate fully in the presence of family, friends, loved ones, mentors, and guides, knowing that you are guiding us into the future from this day forward. We ask all these things in the name of the divine Creator, ever present and always with us. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Bean. Please be seated. Good morning. My name is Mary Ann Benninger, and I'm the very proud president of Drew University. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to all assembled here. Governor Whitman, Bishop Oliveto, Mr. Crieres, the parents, families, and friends who have joined us today in celebration. Our faculty, our staff, our trustees, and other distinguished members of the Platform Party and honored guests, and most especially and enthusiastically, the class of 2019 of this great university in the forest. I love pomp and circumstance. I love celebrations of major milestones, commencements, christenings, weddings, bat mitzvahs, bar mitzvahs, you name it. I want them to be perfect. And in trying to achieve that perfection, I have to say, I tend to make them really complicated. This means that there's a lot to attend to and a lot to worry about during the event. At every commencement, I think back to my daughter's wedding in 2001. Yes, I said that. I have a daughter who has been married for 18 years, but we won't go there and talk about that. But it's totally crazy that I have a daughter that was married 18 years ago. But back to my point. The planning for that wedding started out simple, and it quickly became complicated. 300 people, 9 languages spoken during the ceremony, food from several cultures, fruit baskets instead of flowers so that there would be no waste, all leftover food donated to a food pantry for those who were food insecure. And our children's friends from all over the world chose to dress, in some cases, in the garb, the traditional garb of their native country. I won't bore you with further detail, but the wedding made the Philadelphia Inquirer magazine and Modern Bride Philadelphia because it truly was special. But here's the thing. Despite the fact that I was majorly involved in the planning, and despite the fact that my husband and I paid for this entire thing, I actually didn't have any time to really enjoy it or take the time to take in the happiness of that event. I do remember eating Ethiopian food, yes, Ethiopian food, one of the cuisines at the wedding. I ate injera, shiro, doro wat off of a paper plate in my hotel room at 1:30 a.m. after someone in the reception realized that I hadn't eaten anything the whole night. And they put it in a to-go container and brought it to my hotel room. But the good news about this event is that everyone else had a great time, and they remember it, and that's great, and I feel good about that. But there's a lesson here for that, and there's definitely a lesson for me. I have been around you for 4 years, or 1 year, or 2 years, or however X many years it took you to finish your dissertations, or whatever your plan was. I know that many of you have multiple obligations. You have multiple goals at the same time. And now your focus is shifting, but you believe that you can get everything in all the time because you're a highly accomplished group of people. Now, over the next days and weeks, you'll be packing and unpacking, settling into new jobs or further educational or learning experiences, moving, getting new email addresses. Many of you will try to organize the heck out of the next few days or weeks, or perhaps you will try to organize the heck out of today, sort your family out, get them to be in the right place at the right time, make sure everybody's happy and that they don't fight with each other, or whatever it is that your family thing is. And so for the next months, this is going to be a period of transition that you're going to want to manage. And you'll be focused on your obligations, completing tasks, and in short, not taking time to savor the essence of the moment. This is my last chance to try to impart some wisdom on you. And the best way I know to do that is with a poem from one of my favorite poets, Jane Kenyon. Jane Kenyon passed away in 1995. Her husband, Don Hall, also a poet, died just about a year ago. Kenyon's poems were often about just the ordinary and the day-to-day, and the we in her poems usually referred to her and her husband, Don. And this poem is called Coming Home at Twilight in Late Summer. And it seems like they're coming back from a vacation or a trip or something, but it was a transition. We turned into the drive, and gravel flew up from the tires like sparks from a fire. So much to be done. The unpacking, the mail and the papers, the grass needed mowing. We climbed stiffly out of the car. The shut-off engine tickled as it cooled. And then, we noticed the pear tree, the limbs so heavy with fruit, they nearly touched the ground. We went out to the meadow. Our steps made black holes in the grass, and we each took a pear and ate, and were grateful. So my imparting message to you, see the pears in your life. Contemplate them, savor them. All the other stuff is simply just not as important in the moment. This class, the class of 2019, has been an absolute joy for us to know, and more importantly, a joy to watch being together, supporting each other, and learning from each other. We will miss you profoundly, and I know I speak for my colleagues here on the faculty and the staff at Drew. We have high hopes for you and absolutely no doubt that they will be realized. Congratulations and our love to you. Thank you very much. It is now a great privilege for me to present our 2019 honorary degrees. Our first honorary degree recipient is Mr. Dean Crieras. Dean Crieris is the outgoing chair of the Drew University Board of Trustees and a 1985 CLA alumnus. For those transfer students out here, he actually transferred to Drew and subsequently became chair of the board. I hope that puts an idea in your head. Dean joined the board in 2004, and he became chair in 2012. During his tenure, the university appointed me as its 13th and first permanent female president. Dean helped us celebrate. Okay, I'll take that. Thank you. Dean was chair of the board when we celebrated the Nobel Prize in Medicine earned by longtime science fellow William Campbell. He was chair of the board when we raised $85.4 million in the One and All campaign. He was chair of the board when we lowered tuition by 20%, and he has welcomed the largest 2 classes to this great university in many years. In addition, Mr. Crieris was instrumental in forging the International Education Partnership with INTU. Where are the INTU students? You can whoop it up. Resulting in Drew being ranked 15th nationally for the number of international students at baccalaureate colleges. And Dean was instrumental in establishing the NCAA golf programs for women and men, for which the women won the landmark championship in the second year. And several golfers had individual accolades. And while Dean is stepping down as chair, we are delighted that he will remain a trustee. Mr. Crieris, who also holds an MBA from Columbia University, is the co-founder of the private credit management firm Sound Harbor Partners and a former senior managing director of the Blackstone Group. So Mr. Crieris has joined me at the stage. Dean Crieris, by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees at Drew University, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. This is yours, and Jessica will take it back. And we'll give you this one. And you're going to have to kneel down just a little bit.
I will do that.
I've totally been waiting for him to have to stoop down in my presence.
Thank you, Marianne. Thank you, Marianne, and fellow trustees for this honor. I'm especially humbled and delighted to receive it at the same time as fellow Drew alum, Bishop Oliveto. I offer my congratulations to you as well. It has been my distinct pleasure to work with Marianne Benninger during her term as president, and I'd like to believe that I was instrumental in bringing Marianne to this campus and as our leader and president, and I have learned so much from her, working with her, and I will miss our partnership, and I will miss working with you so closely. So thank you for all your love and care for me. And I'm especially thankful also to my fellow trustees and to the faculty and to the students who I've grown to love and to the staff who have taken care of me at this great institution. Thank you for welcoming me here, and thank you for welcoming me back, not as a student, but as a trustee. Finally, I'd like to thank my wife, Karen, my 2 children, Carly and TJ, for allowing me to serve my alma mater. You've allowed me the time that has been important to come here and serve this great place, so I wanted to thank you. So again, thank you, but really this is your day, graduates, and I couldn't be happier for you. We're all so proud of you. Congratulations to all the graduates across our 3 great schools.
And now our second honorary degree is to be awarded to Bishop Dr. Karen Oliveto. Bishop Oliveto is a bishop in the United Methodist Church and a graduate of both the College of Liberal Arts and the Casperson School of Graduate Studies. Bishop Oliveto also taught at Drew Theological School from 2012 to 2014. The region that she oversees at Bishop, the Mountain Sky Episcopal area, comprises 400 churches in Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, Utah, and one church in Idaho. Previously, Bishop Oliveto, who earned a bachelor's, master's, and PhD from Drew, was the senior pastor of Glide Memorial United Methodist Church in San Francisco. She was the first woman to become the senior pastor at Glide, the 5th largest United Methodist congregation in the United States. And Bishop Oliveto is also the first openly gay person to be elected Bishop of the United Methodist Church. And here celebrating with her today is her spouse, Robin. I now ask my colleague and friend, Bishop Dr. Karen Oliveto, to join me at the podium. Bishop Karen Oliveto, by authority of the Board of Trustees of Drew University, I confer upon you the Doctor of Divinity, honoris causa. Congratulations, Bishop Oliveto. And in a minute, I will invite you to say a few words. We're going to hand that to you for a photo.
President Benninger, Board of Trustees, faculty, graduates, and honored guests. Thank you for this honor. It means more to me than I could ever say. Drew's motto is, freely you have received, freely you give. I've received so much from this university. Drew's faculty stretched my mind and sharpened my intellect. My fellow students opened my world far beyond my Long Island hometown. My experience at Drew taught me to make the most of my education and all the opportunities that were offered here. Most importantly, Drew taught me about the importance of being an engaged community member. This community, with its rich diversity of nationalities, races, political persuasions, cultures, sexual orientations, gender identities, and abilities, helped me find my voice. It taught me how to be an activist and helped me grow into the person and leader I am today. Drew taught me how to live my life out loud, bringing all of who I am to the places I'm called to be, and that has made all the difference. So graduates, as you leave this place, hold fast to the promise this graduation day holds for you. Drew has equipped you for this moment, and now your whole future lies in front of you. So what will you make of it? Know this: the road before you won't be easy. For some of you, there will be doors that seem not only shut to you, but locked tight. There will be people, systems, and institutions that will make roadblocks to your future. There will be some who will insist there's no room for someone like you at the table. Don't let the opinions of others deter you from reaching for your future and taking your rightful place at the human family. Don't hold back. Don't hold back. Don't hold back from being the person you were meant to be, because who you are is vital to the work you are called to do. You were meant to be a part of this world, created as a unique, one-of-a-kind being never seen before, making a contribution no one else can. Your life's worth rests on your willingness to show up, to speak out, to offer righteous love and make justice visible in the world, so go do it.
Congratulations to both of our honorary degree recipients. We are very, very proud of these alums. And now I am especially pleased to welcome our guest speaker for today's commencement, Governor Christine Todd Whitman. Governor Whitman served in the cabinet of President George W. Bush as administrator of the Environmental Protection Agency from January of 2001 until June of 2003. Governor Whitman was the 50th governor of New Jersey, serving as the first and only to this date female governor of the state of New Jersey from 1994 to 2001. She is also the author of It's My Party, Too, a New York Times bestseller. Governor Whitman is now the president of Whitman Strategy Group, a consulting firm that specializes in energy and environmental issues, and she serves on the board of directors of United Technologies Corporation. She also serves a number of nonprofit organizations, including as chairman of the American Security Project and vice chairman of the chairperson of the trustees of the Eisenhower Fellowships. In addition, she's a founding member of the Climate Leadership Council and a member of the National Advisory Committee for the Women's Coalition for Common Sense and the Presidential Climate Action Project. We are honored to have Governor Whitman back in the forest to deliver her second Drew University commencement address. She previously spoke at Drew in the 1997 ceremony, at which time she received an honorary degree. Now, we've actually learned today that when she received her honorary degree in 1997, she did not receive a Drew hood. So we decided to rectify that particular issue. So if you are willing to receive a Drew hood, we would love you to come up to the podium to do that. Take care of it. I'm going to give it to the chair of the board. Do you mind turning? No, I don't. Thank you. Congratulations, Governor Whitman, and welcome to the Drew family.
Thank you very much. I'm embarrassed. I should never have mentioned that, but I am honored to wear the Drew hood. The only thing I will say, Madam President, is don't ever ask me to go after the bishop again. I don't think you all need to hear anything more. You have heard what this is all about and what Drew University has given you and the potential that it opens up for you. But I do have a few things I want to say. And besides thanking the faculty, the trustees, the administration, the staff, the family and friends of the class of 2019 for inviting me here again. I want to also say that with all the different colleges that you have, this has been one of the most and is one of the most diverse universities that we have of its size. It leads the country in so many ways, and you all ought to be extremely proud of that record and what it has. But particularly to the class of 2019, congratulations. You've worked very hard to get to this day. the College of Liberal Arts, the members of the Theological School and the Casperson School of Graduate Studies. You've invested much to get this degree. You've worked hard, there have been late nights, there have been stressful times, there have been times when you thought you might not even get there. But you have gotten, with this diploma, a wealth of knowledge that is going to serve you extremely well in the years to come. However, the one thing I would say to you is don't forget the others who helped you get to this day. Your parents, the faculty, significant others, friends, roommates. Don't forget to thank them. In fact, it doesn't hurt to do it, and it's a pretty good habit to get into, saying thank you to people, because no one in this world, and you won't as you go through your careers, do it alone. We all need people to help us. We all need people to support us. We need to learn from others and be willing to ask them for that help, which so many times we don't want to do. For me, it's a pleasure to be back at the beautiful campus. I enjoyed the walk today, get a little exercise. And I know many of you wish we were outside, but frankly, it's probably better we're here. The ground is still a little wet. Something's happening, but if we don't talk about it, it's not real. But it still seems to be happening. But I must say, in preparing for today, I looked back over the fact that I had been here quite a few years ago. We don't need to talk about that either, but it was quite a few years ago. And being someone who cares about the environment, I thought, well, maybe I could just recycle what I said back then, because most of you graduates weren't alive. So it would have been, and nobody remembers what their graduation speaker says anyway, so I probably could have gotten away with it, except when I started to look at some of the things that I had said. And I urge graduates to make an effort to spend time outdoors in nature rather than playing with Tagamagachi. None of you have ever heard of it. That was a virtual pet. Or not spending time watching Rosie O'Donnell while you were riding your stationary bike. But nobody ever remembers Tamagotchi, and Rosie O'Donnell went off, hasn't been on the air since 2002. So I thought, really, I couldn't do that. I love recycling, but that wasn't going to work. 22 years is a long time. Recycling has its limits, and I had clearly reached it. And the world has changed so much since then. Technology has been a driver of much of that change, not just in terms of its sophistication and its reach, but also in the way it has affected how we interact with one another. I appreciate having the world and almost everyone I know at my fingertips wherever I go with my iPhone or my laptop, my computer. It's a wonderful tool. But I do miss some of the person-to-person human interaction that is taking place when you use those devices. And I think our society misses that as well. It is virtually impossible to have a serious discussion today on any topic when you're limited to 280 characters. You can't do it. The world is much more complicated and nuanced than that. It's especially true when the subject is politicians or public policy issues. The rhetoric can get very ugly very fast. You say things in tweets and in blogs that you would never say to someone's face. It's not what you would ever do. Where we once put a premium on the ability to persuade, the ability to promote, outrage seems to be now the norm. It's what we want to do, rather than get into the discussions we need to have. This country, to a country that hasn't been this divided since the Civil War, to a government that seems incapable of getting anything done, and to a society that's increasingly doubtful that the future will be better than the past. This is where we find ourselves today. And a lot of that is because we do miss that interpersonal relationship. We've gotten too comfortable with some of the tools that are at our disposal. But it doesn't have to be this way. And you, as the members of the class of 2019, can make that difference. You can change it. Your generation impresses me as one that feels passionately about the great issues that are facing our society and facing us today. The threat of our planet from global climate change, the threat to our children's families from gun violence, the threat to our economic system from a growing income inequality that we see too readily around us everywhere, the threat to our civic life by political apathy or indifference, the threat to our neighbors and communities from the rising spike of opioid use and what it is doing in devastating our communities, the threat to human dignity from prejudice and indifference. The only way that we are going to successfully overcome these threats is by working together in pursuit of common goals, the people of goodwill working together. We must reject the knee-jerk reaction to attack and dismiss those with whom we do not agree. Because they hold a different opinion, they're not our enemies. They just hold a different opinion. The trick is to find out why. The trick is to listen. The trick is to really hear when you're listening, not just nod your head from time to time, but to get behind what is motivating others. We have to promote open and honest debate, or we will never be able to solve the issues that face us. Only then can we find the kinds of solutions we need to the difficult problems that face us as a nation. As soon-to-be graduates of this liberal arts university, you know more than most about the value of rational and civil discourse. In your classes, whether you majored in politics, history, women and graduate study, anthropology, or even one of the sciences, you learned how to collect facts. You also learned how to learn effectively and how to think critically. Those two things, learning effectively and thinking critically, are absolutely central to your ability to succeed and how to make a difference in the world. As the author Joyce Carol Oates put it once, at a time when politics deals in distortions and half-truths, truth is to be found in the liberal arts. There's something afoot in this country, and you are very much a part of it. And I urge you not just to be a part of it, but to be an active part of it, an active part of civic life, of our nation, of your communities, and wherever you find yourselves. As soon-to-be graduates, you understand the fundamental nature of the education you've received here at Drew and how it has prepared you to make much-needed positive change in our world. You are now at the threshold of doing that. There are going to be a lot of other things that are going to intrude in your life, especially when you leave here today. A lot of exciting things, starting new careers, going to graduate school, some getting married, some moving on in their lives. You're going to be moving on your lives in all different ways, but don't forget some of your basic responsibilities. And I go back to the most fundamental way to make change is to register and to vote. It means being part of this extraordinary privilege that we have living in this country of choosing our own leaders. Voter turnout in the United States is depressing. Fewer than 2 out of every 3 eligible voters elected the 45th president. And the turnout in that deeply consequential 2018 election, it was not quite half of the eligible voters actually made it to the polls. We must do better than this, and I frankly am counting on each one of you to be the ones who do that. But I would also ask you to take it a step further in something you probably don't want to do, and that is to vote in primary elections. I know that many voters resist that. They don't want to have anything to do with either party. I'm an independent. Well, that's great, except that in many states that doesn't allow you to vote in primaries, and I will tell you, I think primaries are among the most important elections, because that's where our choices for the future are made. And who we get to vote for in November is based on that. And if you don't vote in primaries, you lose your right to complain. You're making part of the status quo more entrenched than ever. The fact is that voting in primaries matters very, very much. Because turnout in primaries is so low, you're leaving the decision to some of the most partisan, the people who care the most about their individual party, and they tend to excite and motivate the more extreme members of that party. That means once someone is elected, what they have to worry about is the extremes, because that's where their challenges will come from. So they move further to the right and further to the left and make that gap in the middle wider and wider and harder to overcome. So while it might feel momentarily satisfying to say, I'm an independent, a pox on both these houses, what I say to young people is, find the party that you least disagree with. Get in it and make it what you want it to be. Because in this country, at the end of the day, it is going to be the two-party system that really works. Our founding fathers were worried about it. They warned us about it. They were concerned about what would happen when politics started to trump policy. And that's where we find ourselves today. If your political base is an ideological extreme, compromise is not just a dirty word, it's political suicide. We have to help those who are willing to stand up and say, no, I believe in something bigger than the party. I believe in my country. I believe in my constituents, and they're not all the same. They didn't all vote for me. But once you're in office, you serve all of them, not just the ones who voted for you. We see the lack of urgency in policy making. If you only have to worry about your base, then you really don't want to disturb things too much. So you don't take on the critical issues. You need to be out there demanding that people answer your questions, demanding that people address the major issues. What are we going to do about a changing climate? As I said, we may not want to talk about it, but it's happening. And we all know something is happening. So now we need to decide, how do we prepare for this? What do we do to make the world a better place? Because this is something that does affect all of us. We've made huge strides in reducing our air pollution over the years, over the past 50 years particularly, but there still remains much to be done. So I urge you, when you're thinking about these issues, maybe to think a little differently. Maybe not talk about climate change, which upsets a lot of people, but let's talk about human health. Let's talk about what we know. We know that the American Lung Association reported that 141 million Americans live in places with unhealthy air. 141 million. That's almost 40% of our population and represents a 13% increase from 6 years ago. We're starting to slip backwards. And what's driving this increase? Hotter weather, higher temperatures that react with greenhouse gases. This is causing problems, but it affects our health. And when we start talking about health to people, they understand it. I'm going to ask you, because I do this and a lot of times when I speak, how many of you in the class of 2019, or the whole audience, how many of you know somebody with asthma, have asthma yourself, or have a relative with asthma? Just a show of hands. Now look around the room at that. We don't know what causes asthma, but we know what can trigger an attack and what can exacerbate an attack, and that's dirty air. So let's start breaking these problems down, and you can find a way to do that with almost every one of the issues that we face. Break them down to their components of what really is behind them, what's causing them, and figure a way to then start to address the needs. You've received the privilege of a college education. It's an opportunity that not everyone gets, and you have to remember that. We're depending on you to make a difference, to build on the successes of the past and address the shortcomings that we find today. So as you leave Drew to make your way in the world, I urge you to commit to doing your part in making our world a better place. Do your part to make the future better, creating better jobs for the future and for the generations that are to come. But before you do, take some time out for yourselves. Take some time out to enjoy what you've achieved, to celebrate that, and celebrate it with your family and friends. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Governor Whitman. This is the time that I told you about, that you should just take a pause and take a breath as the choir is setting up for us. Thank you very much to the Drew University Chorale, who just performed under the direction of Matt Webb. We'll be hearing from them again later, and we are so pleased that they were able to join this celebration today. And Governor Whitman, I want to thank you again for your words of wisdom. I could tell by the quiet that they were, literally, I could see on the faces that they were being taken in, and they're very, very meaningful. These are topics that our students discuss all the time. I now have the pleasure of introducing our student speakers representing the class of 2019. Joining us today are Alina Zara Kasim, representing the College of Liberal Arts, and Erika Brian Ramirez, representing the Theological School. I'd like to thank both graduation candidates for joining us today to share their thoughts with their classmates and our guests. Please welcome Alina, followed by Erika, to bring greetings from the class of 2019.
Graduates, family, and distinguished guests, in those moments before we fall asleep, 100 different thoughts cross our minds. A lot of our thoughts go towards our anxieties and worst-case scenarios. What's it going to be like after graduation? Will I like my career? What if my future spouse is allergic to dogs? One side of these thoughts are about the future, but the other is about the past. You may think about how you would have ended an argument if you just thought quicker, or something about your day that you would have changed. Point being, we overlap the good and the bad when it comes to our past. A lot of you are probably saying, thank God it's finally over. I want us all to remember the things about Drew we're going to miss and all the things we've taken for granted. When reflecting upon our 4 years at Drew University, I'd like us to think of a quote by Maya Angelou. We delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve that beauty. Let's think back to fall 2015. If you can believe it, Cheerleader by Omi was at the top of the charts during freshman orientation. Our parents drove us up besides Tolly Brown or Welch, and the OC unpacked our car in a matter of seconds. Within a few hours, our parents bid tearful or joyful goodbyes. Once we met our OC leader, we ate at Commons together for the first time. I want us all to think back to old Commons for a second. We are the last class to have experienced it. This was back when Stir Fry Station was a huge time commitment, and Nugget Night drew in lines as long as the ones at Disney Splash Mountain. As classes began, we were blown away by our newfound educational freedom and all the possibilities of the next 4 years. We looked at all those study abroad programs, and over the next few years, many of us were lucky enough to take our educations with us across the globe. And in December of 2015, we experienced our first ever finals week. I can't even begin to describe the unity that this campus feels when we collectively suffer in the library, overloading that building with coffee and sighs of exhaustion. I'd like to think that by senior year, we knew how to handle it at least a little better. Sophomore year is often forgotten about. If you need a pop culture reference, Stranger Things had just come out the summer beforehand. Classes got a lot harder without a schedule of only gen eds, and we were learning more and more about what we were truly interested in. Some of us found that what we thought we wanted to major in wasn't actually meant for us, and that was fine. Taking a class that just sounded cool was actually our gateway into something we never knew we'd love so much. Junior year was when we knew real life was coming very soon. It was time to get serious about internships and start thinking about life after Drew. Some of our friends were graduating this year, and we were looking for any opportunity to hold on to them. Now we have come to senior year. All these years later, and we still don't know how Game of Thrones is going to end, and we only have 2 episodes left to figure it out. This year has been the year of the famed question, what are you going to do after graduation? There's a lot of answers to that. Grad school, gap year, work, travel. I'd like to think not too many of us overloaded ourselves with courses, and for once in these 4 years, we were able to do something really important with our free time, like watch The Office from start to finish again. Everything we did it noting it was our last time doing it as an undergrad. Now it's us announcing on Instagram that we've chosen a grad school. It's us telling our families that we got that post-grad job we wanted so badly. It's us going to 99 nights and doing those last few things on our Drew University bucket list. It's us taking pictures in our caps and gowns with our families today. I want all of you to remember who you were when you entered Drew and who you are now. The person you are now is capable of so much more, and school is the reason for that. College is not just about the late nights studying in the library, or the mornings you woke up with a headache caused by a few too many mistakes from the previous night. It's about who we have grown to be and what we are capable of now. So thanks to these 4 years filled with opportunities to grow, to find ourselves, make mistakes, and learn. And I hope we always cherish our time here at Drew University. Thank you.
It is a great honor for me to address you, members of the audience, family and friends of this year's graduating class. Thank you so much for your presence in these proceedings. Thank you also to my own extended family who came all the way from Texas and Tulsa. I can't thank you enough for being here for me, and especially thank you to my husband, Chris, without whom I just wouldn't be here. So thank you so much. Thank you as well to the faculty of Drew Theological School for nominating me to deliver this short rumination on what my time at Drew has meant for me. I am graduating with my PhD this year as a part of a category that in prior times might have been denoted as that of an untraditional student. I can imagine that traditional student meant for a long while in this country young men, and then brought in to include the unusual suspects, non-white men, white women, people of color more generally, until here I am, a Texan-born Latina, married for 20 years, and a mother of 3. Thank you. Today, as I cross this threshold into a future as a doctor of philosophy, I can tell you that my imagination about this place in which we are all sitting, I hope comfortably enough, has been powerfully shaped by my time in coursework here. One is, and I will have to be that one since there is no generic one is born into a world that, since it precedes her and since she only discovers it, seems to have an ontological status, a world to be taken for granted. I was fortunate enough to be born to parents invested in my education and religious life. So this world for me has always included a seriousness about the educational enterprise and a steady rhythm of the sacred, meaning in layman's terms, I went to church a lot. I felt small in a way, in part because the world, and maybe it is always this way for children, seems so stalwart, so secure, a little towering. I took the world I knew for granted, home, school, and church. I tried to fit into them, to mold myself according to them, as best I could, but without much seriousness, as everything seemed it would persist with or without my effort. If I am honest, I phoned it all in a little. Spoiler, friends, nothing persists without effort. During my coursework at Drew, I have learned 2 elegant, if overly complicated, ways for thinking about this tendency of the world instead to unravel. From a class with Catherine Keller in process philosophy, I learned to observe the manner in which matter is not so much a noun as it is a verb. The trees that surround us in this beautiful forest are not so much green as they are actively greening, emitting this certain kind of frequency that in sunlight to the human eye appears recognizably green. Green is not flat, not a property, not a pre-existent identity of the trees, but something the trees do, and something that the human eye responds to with its sense perception. One's eye may not always be able to participate in this process, then the tree's green, but one cannot perceive it. In classes in ecology, I have learned to appreciate better that trees in dire conditions may not persist in greening at all. On this morning, in this beautiful setting, I am taking with me in my heart this sense of the great performance of persistence that even our share of natural beauty at Drew exemplifies. None of it is a given, and I have loved these particular shades. From a class with Otto Maduro, a beloved figure for Drew Theological School, whose passing in 2013 is commemorated on our grounds by a sprightly little tree near Seminary Hall, I learned that the social world is not, as it once appeared to me, in any kind of state of permanence. Nothing has been so securely established or determined that it can take its existence for granted. Everything, every institution like ours, up to the state like our nation, must be made and remade through the participation of subscribers who make the institution like Drew anew. Otto Maduro was, for many of us in the theological school, a giant, an erudite scholar, and a lover of humanity whose love of life and seriousness towards his work called out the best in us. His loss was, in its way, a kind of devastation, a natural one to be sure. We might all of us known that he would not persist indefinitely, but still when we lost him, we sensed anew the finitude of life much more acutely than we previously did. Otto's passion for the work of sociologist Pierre Bourdieu made clear a new vision of the world for me, one in which systems of domination, though they look permanent, are actually always instead in the mode of perpetuating themselves and are therefore subject to radical change. As I previously mentioned, there was once a time when I might be considered an untraditional student, perhaps not really welcomed into programs like ours, but this has changed. The path here and my time here have been such that I have never felt like an untraditional student, not even through the 2 pregnancies I endured through my doctoral program, not even when I went into labor with my 2nd child on this campus. Okay, a little I felt unusual that day. But the fact here remains I have always felt welcome, and for that I am truly grateful, and I know that exceeds not just the goodwill of my theological school colleagues and peers and teachers, but Drew more generally. So thank you. My time at Drew Theological School has been a time of flourishing that is particular to this place, in these woods, in this institution, when I consider what natural and social persistence have together created the spaces in which I have thrived. I note that they feel like a miraculous combination of persistence. Today, I feel the honor of being the graduate of an institution that has persisted for more than 150 years, since 1867, and one I hope will persist for many more. The way I hope to honor these opportunities I have been given during my time here is to not phone it in, not take the world for granted. If I care about anything, this program, this school, this or another nation, this world, I plan instead to show up, to invest myself, to bring the full set of my skills and passion to the forms of life, really broadly construed, that I wish to remain, since without my care they might not. As you cross into your new life, I would wish the same for you. Please bring yourself, your skills, and passions to whatever in your life you would be most tempted to take for granted. And in doing so, allow Drew to most fully flourish in the world and to affect its flourishing. Thank you.
Thank you, Alina, and thank you, Erika. I don't need to tell those of you who have been Drew students that the faculty are the heart of this university. Generation and generation of Drew alumni tell stories about a professor who has had a profound impact on their lives. That is why each year we recognize outstanding teaching as part of this ceremony. While we present one of these awards to a professor from each school, each of them represents how valued the student-teacher relationships are across the university. These awards are a surprise to the professors, so they do not know their names. They do not know the names that are about to be announced. But I do know they are all here today. I've seen them. I will first announce each of our winners, and then I will have them join me together on the stage for their awards. Faculty, I know it's a bit of a walk up here, so when you hear your names, please feel free to start making your way up to join the other faculty members of the year, and then you can join me together on stage. And we will start with the Theological School Teacher of the Year. It is the quest to understand and experience joy and hope in the face of hardship and unspeakable cruelty that has framed the scholarship and teaching of one theological school professor. Her research has focused on the documentation of the stories of Korean comfort women, the thousands of women who were lured or coerced into sexual slavery during the 1930s and 1940s by the Japanese army, and whose stories were shrouded in so much stigma that for decades they could not be told. You know who you are, so you can start walking. Even before the era of the Me Too movement and Pound Never Again, this theological school professor has been telling their stories, researching the impact of their forced sexual servitude and championing their quest for reparations and dignity. As one student stated in her nomination, this spring she took 9 students to South Korea, as she does each year, to educate them on the plight of Korean women that suffered sexual slavery at the hands of the Japanese government. She has continually demonstrated her passion for these women and their cause by, among other things, creating a website to ensure that the survivors are perpetually advocated for and remembered. She is promoting social justice for a population that is quickly dying, but because of her work, their stories will live on. As a teacher, she demonstrates care for her students by embodying the pastoral care concept she teaches so that her students can be successful seminarians and religious leaders. It is my honor to present the 2019 Theological School Teacher Scholar of the Year Award to Professor Angela Pak San. For the graduate school, in nominating this faculty member of the Casperson School of Graduate Studies for the Teaching Award, one student wrote, "He has been critical in the shaping of the new curriculum of the History and Culture graduate program." Another wrote that he is a phenomenal advisor and his support for young scholars in the History and Culture program is incomparable. This professor's work has been funded by the NEH, the Mellon Foundation, the American Philosophical Society, and he knows who he is too. He was a 2015 John Simon Guggenheim Fellow, this year's recipient of the Thomas H. Kane Scholar Mentor of the Year Prize is the current director of the Graduate History and Culture program, Professor Ed Baring. Just lost my place a little bit. And last but not least, the President's Award for Distinguished Teaching in the College of Liberal Arts was selected by nominations of more than 30 faculty members by this year's graduating seniors. One student writing in support of this year's winner said, "This professor embodies everything that is special about Drew's faculty by always going above and beyond and having our best interests at heart. This is true whether you've been in her classroom once or for 4 years." Another wrote, "This professor cares immensely for us." And another wrote, She has had the most profound impact on the direction of my academic career and what I want to do in life. So we haven't given you that many clues yet because this embodies pretty much every female professor at Drew so far. Coming to Drew as a part-time instructor in 1988, our recipient was appointed a full-time instructorship in 1999, appointed a distinguished teaching professor of the humanities in 2016, and is presently serving as a professor of French. This year's recipient of the President's Award for the Distinguished Teaching in the College of Liberal Arts is Dr. Marie-Pascale Pieretti. Congratulations, Angela, congratulations, Ed, and congratulations, Marie-Pascale. Thank you. We good?
Congratulations to my colleagues. I have the honor of serving as Chief Marshal this year, and I'm going to depart from the script for just a moment to thank, on behalf of the university, all staff that have made this possible. These that we carry, these maces, were made by a special staff person years and years ago, Ron Melcher, and through these that we carry, the staff, literally, the staff are present, and we thank you for that. Now, as official Chief Marshal of this year's commencement, I am pleased to begin the conferral of degrees and the awarding of diplomas. Before I do that, I would like to call attention to the special honors and recognitions previously awarded in our graduates, which are listed in the printed programs. Graduates, please remain seated until you are invited to rise and come to the platform, and once you have received your diploma, return to your seats. We appreciate all our guests, ensuring that each graduate's name can be heard and that their friends and family can view their graduate by limiting your applause and staying in your seats. That's what this is for, I think. At the conclusion of today's ceremony, you are welcome to take photos in front of the stage as well as to attend the receptions organized by academic programs throughout the campus. Madam President, I am honored to present the Drew University Class of 2019. These are their faculty, their deans, and I recommend them to you. We begin with the College of Liberal Arts, and I call upon University Provost and Dean of the College, Deborah Lebowitz, to present the candidates.
All right, so 2019 Graduates of the College of Liberal Arts, woohoo! All right, come on, there's more of you than that. Let's hear it. There you go. Before I present the candidates, I would like to take the opportunity to acknowledge 3 distinct groups of outstanding scholars who are graduating today. As I introduce each group, I ask that all members of the group rise and while I briefly explain why you are being honored. Would the Baldwin Honors candidates please rise and remain standing? This demanding 4-year program admits academically strong students, emphasizing scholarship, leadership, and global citizenship. Students must maintain a 3.5 GPA and complete a full-year honors thesis experience. Congratulations to you all. All right, you can be seated. Except some of you are going to rise again. Would our civic scholars please rise? Drew University actively supports students who show extraordinary commitment to community service by offering civic engagement scholarships. Drew's civic scholars complete a minimum of 100 years or service annually and participate in special classes. What did I just say? Did I really? That's what it felt like, right? That was Freudian. I'm sorry, Amy, wherever you are. That's really funny. Okay, I'm cracking myself up now. Okay, so I'm going to try to regain some version of composure. I'm going to be serious now. Scholars complete 100 hours or more of service annually, and they participate in a range of special programs and off-campus community service projects. Congratulations to you all. All right, would all graduating seniors who have been elected to Phi Beta Kappa please rise? Phi Beta Kappa is the nation's oldest academic honor society with the most rigorous requirements. Students inducted for membership must have GPAs in the top 10% of their class and must also have taken a significant breadth of courses, a study of a foreign language through the intermediate level, and be able to demonstrate an appropriate level of mathematics. Congratulations to you all. Okay, now all those of you who have been honored in all 3 of these categories, I ask that you stand for a special round of applause. All right, yeah, that's right, Shayna, you have to stand up. All right, congratulations. Now, will all of the candidates for the bachelor's degree at Drew University please rise? Madam President, I have the high honor of presenting to you candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree. After completion of their rigorous courses of study, the faculty of the College of Liberal Arts recommends them for their degree.
Thank you, Provost Leibowitz. Before I actually confer the degree, I want to make note of our first 2 CLA graduates who are coming up to receive their degree. First, we will have Salma Mahmood, who is our flag bearer today and has also served as Drew's student body president for the undergraduate college. And then following Salma, we have Ida Bahraini, who, along with Salma, is another brilliant, friendly, and engaging student who happens to be blind. And her brother asked that we acknowledge her as being the second student graduate following him in 2011 to graduate, a blind student to graduate from Drew. What you will see is that Ida will be joined with her companion, who is also graduating from Drew. Evie is a class member of the class of 2019, so we will begin our conferral of degrees with Salma and Ida and Evie. Upon recommendation of the faculty and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Drew University, I confer upon you, the College of Liberal Arts class of 2019, the degree of Bachelor of Liberal Arts. I invite each of you to the platform to receive your diploma. Please be seated until your row is directed by the marshals to rise and proceed to the platform.
Salma Ashraf Mahmood. Ida Bahraini. You can go ahead. Wait a second. Lara Abdullahi. Zarina Fatama Akbari. One second. Fakrat Alapa. Antonio Mancini Albano. Nathan Lawrence Aldrich. Christian Alvarado. Jennifer Alvarado. Sophia Alexandra Amorim. Catherine Grace Uremo. Laura Kelly Archer. Okay. Aisatu Mareme Ba. Peter John Barkas. Ashley Marie Backey. Samantha L. Balling. Dominic Sebastian Barron, cum laude. Leslie Batman. Haley M. Benson, magna cum laude. Hope M. Berra, magna cum laude. Cameron Douglas Berger. Shariar Khan Badi. Sabrina Bitten Tinoco, magna cum laude. Ansel Elliott Bloom. Molly Bowman. Nicolette Rose Boyotats, summa cum laude. Samantha M. Booth, magna cum laude. Joseph Stephen Buffard. Abakar Brahim Nokur. Lorena V. Brittain, summa cum laude. Joy R. Brooks. Zalia Bruff. Carissa Ann Bruno, magna cum laude. Genesis Burgos Rivera. Oh, two.
Having a camera difficulty for the moment.
Thank you. Jordan M. Burnett, magna cum laude. Monica Callahan. Ryan Casserly Callahan. Francie Camacho. Mia Augusta Campanale. Janice Janelle Campbell. Jillian Tara Canal, cum laude. Sarah Elizabeth Cardy, cum laude. Megan Grace Cashin. Alexis Costa Castañera. Brielle Costa Castañera. Brian Michael Seri, magna cum laude. Maria Chicale, cum laude. Harold Cohen. Buza Chelan. Andrew Castelluccio, cum laude. Heather J. Chalecki. Sabrina Schmelier. Kira Jean Cipolla, summa cum laude. Thomas Cleary. Nicholas A. Coffin. Anatole Michael Colbert. Ryan Lawrence Connors. Max Correa. Alcides Brito Costa Jr. Karina Isabel Guejo Costa. Sarah Costa. Calvin Craig, magna cum laude. Emma C. Christ. Jack Vincent Crowley. Jonathan Alexis Cruz. Nicholas E. Curcio. Tay Cucolo. Andrew Anthony Cusano. Andrew James D'Amato, cum laude. Karina Marie Deletto. Nicholas C. DeFuria. Samantha DePiro, magna cum laude. Emily Althea Ducar, cum laude. Mariela Diab Diaviro. Eric Anthony DePietro, cum laude. Domenico DeSalvo, summa cum laude. Brad Distel. Hongwei Dong. Sotirios Elias Dulin. Kimberly Draghi. Ryan W. Druin. Kelly Ann Duddy, magna cum laude. Heather Ann DuPont. Ricardo C. Duran. Priya Dutt. Malik El Said, magna cum laude. Josephine Mary Emanuele, magna cum laude. Thomas Joseph Ensmenger. Karen Airy. J.L. Estrada. Tanner Jordan Houston, cum laude. Manuel E. Familia Marcelino. Mary Catherine Ferguson. Rebecca Filetti Andujo. Angel Luis Flores Jr. Auri Flores. Barbara Fonseca. Jessica Marie Forster. Davis Norman Fouts. Mitchell Fry. Michael Anthony Galeotto Jr., cum laude. Jane Elizabeth Gallagher. Kaylee Isabel Garcia Curarte. Thomas Michael Garner. George Granges. Brian Gastulo. Mariam Ghali. Henry Tom Giddings. Alexandra A. Gilgori, cum laude. Emma Elizabeth Gillespie, summa cum laude. Salik Gitmudanov. Andrew Goldstein, magna cum laude. Brittany L. Grabowski. Jenna Marie Gregson. Alexandra Noel Groylick, magna cum laude. Catherine Grodsky. Josephine Noah Gronendahl. Ridavati Ridagani. Joseph John Grossane. Shulong Guo. Brendan W. Ham. Bihao Guo. Peiyu Guo. Siobhan Darby Hansen, cum laude. Austin Schuyler Harris. Mohammed Syed Hassan, magna cum laude. Supang He. Lindsay June Heel, magna cum laude. Brian Thomas Heist, cum laude. Jada Henderson. Tide James Hildebrandt. Savannah K. Hill. Charles Holloway. Stephen M. Horiuchi. Holly Michelle Hoyt. Julian Hrishko, magna cum laude. Shichi Huang. Trevor Aaron Hurst, magna cum laude. Leslie Ruth Eufredo, magna cum laude. Karen Irias. Kayla A. Jackson, cum laude. Brandon Lee Johnson Douglas. DeJetri Landry Joseph. Robert Paul Jewell, summa cum laude. Jongmi Rose Kagabo. Larice Canson. Uma Canteti, summa cum laude. Sena Salika Kaplan. Andrew James Keenan. Bosuda Khan. Sharif Khan. Olivia Grace Kingry, magna cum laude. Soyeon Kim. Rachel Lee Klain, magna cum laude. Leanna Lenore Klein. Nino Kobiashvili. Caroline Marie Kelly. Alexandra Lee Keck, summa cum laude. Brianna Koshinsky. Caitlin McGuire Coates. Anne Marie Libruto. Cam Mi Lam. Nancy Nya Let. Logan Lamorte, cum laude. Tafari Jeremiah Lema. Nicolina Lentine. Jake Gilad Levine, summa cum laude. Inji Kim, cum laude. Ariana Dorothea Vivian Levy. Ferrari Lewis. Bryce Samuel Lewis. Runbo Lee. Ray Leo. Emmanuel Mauricio Lopez, magna cum laude. Maxime Volodymyr Lozinski. Matthew Francis Ludak, cum laude. Stephen John Lukianov. Kayla Fleming. Sarah Jane Heinig. Zachary Thomas Luke. Daniel Rabal. Nathaniel Anthony Lynch. Scott Michael Lynch. Rose McKinnon. Megan Hope McMullen. Kyle Majid, cum laude. Christina Alicia Martinez Lara. Chippewa Mashiachidi. Precious Naomi Martinez. Cass Mattingly. Kibugi Kamau Mbugwa, cum laude. Mary McCormick. Megan Eileen McDermott, cum laude. John McGowan. Ian Patrick McGuire. Anthony McMine. Ileana Mendez Rosario, cum laude. Shayna Raquel Miller, magna cum laude. Adam Meisner. Jacqueline Moldowski, summa cum laude. Kiara M. Morales. Julia Francesca Moreale, magna cum laude. William G. Morrison IV. Christopher Justin Morville. Marina Mozak. Molly Sinead Murphy, magna cum laude. Lauren Nicole Muddle. Yuga Nakai. Nadia Nashin. Aya Newman. Allison Rose O'Brien. You got it. Okay. Juliet Jeffrey O'Connor. Le Nguyen. Ryan Julian O'Donnell, magna cum laude. Harnoor Singh Oberoi. Marissa Oliveira, cum laude. Adam David Opegard. Marie Esters. Alexis Orlovsky. Kathia K. Osorio. Brian Alexander Palares. Christian Parenti. Brian Stephen Pascale. Claudia Ines Payor, summa cum laude. Alexander G. Pierce, summa cum laude. Raquel A. Pedroso. Jillian Marie Pellinger. Emilio Tomas Peñate. Michael Christopher Pettigrew, magna cum laude. Joao Pedro Martins Pinheiro, magna cum laude. Joseph T. Pojero. Hannah May Ponturo, cum laude. Samaya Kudus. Siobhan Marie Quinlan. John Rainey. Janaya N. Reeves. Faith C. Ogbenaya. Annabelle Lau Hui Chi. Sean Michael Reifinger. Imelda Lee Reimer Guardiola. Darius G. Ryder, cum laude. Liliana Reyes. Zachary Marshall Rimmer, cum laude. Olivia Gabrielle Morera Rios. Raul I. Rivera Chica. Alexare Rizzo, magna cum laude. Marlon Rodriguez Lopez. Cara Marie O'Leary. Diana Oliveira. Gillian G. Oldroyd. Elena J. Rodriguez, magna cum laude. Lianza N. Rodriguez, cum laude. Mariela Rodriguez. Charlotte J.C. Rogers. Giselle Y. Rojas. Emily Marie T. Rosales. Natalie Marie Gonzalez. David H. Rosenblum, magna cum laude. Joseph Stephen Rusano. Sanchit Sani, magna cum laude. Osbert Indigo Soxty. Jessica Jane Sanford. Christian Joseph Santangelo. Victoria Santiago. J. Celeste Santoro. Nicholas Daniel Sherman. Benjamin David Schneider. Andrew E. Schultz. Priyanka Sen. Caitlin Bonita Shannon, summa cum laude. Shirag Sharma Ratanpal, magna cum laude. Ashley Ann Cecilia. Brianna Maria Siciliano, magna cum laude. Brianne Paxton Siegel, magna cum laude. Evelyn Silva. Michaela Ruth Simon, summa cum laude. Paige Morgan Schuyler. Benjamin Rowan Liam Slattery Goldberg. Nicholas Daniel Smale. Kayla Smalling. Alexander Bruce Smith. Talia Marie Smith, magna cum laude. Crystal Rose Starrett. Abigail Bridget Staskell. Haley Lauren Stein. Chatham Edgar Studer. Olivia Celeste Snaza, magna cum laude. Arlene Tarazona, cum laude. Artie Sunder. Christopher Clark Thompson. Catherine Tadero. Mabel A. Torto. Mamadou Abdoulaya Traor. Sarah Rose Tully. Assad Ullah. David James Van Dongen, summa cum laude. Eileen Unel, summa cum laude. Jendi Van Heiningen. Brianna Gabrielle Vodskes Smith. Alexi Javier Velasquez. Vinit Vemolalupali. Nicole Katrina Verduin. Joshua Williams. Rachel Villatoro. Sanjana Vishwanath. Stephanie Jennifer Vitolero, cum laude. Brianna Volpe, magna cum laude. Claudia West. Barbara Shute Wheeler, cum laude. Gage Scott Wheeler, cum laude. Brooke Winters, summa cum laude. Olivia Sage Winters, cum laude. Alfred Williams. T.T. Witten. Kai-Jun Shu. Charles F. Yarwood. Abigail D. Young, magna cum laude. Layla Malik Mahmoud Hanade, summa cum laude. Kent Heisig Harris. Ron Lee. Yu Jai. Yuqian Chen. Tianlun Zhang. Jia Zhang. Yu Zhou. Ivo Zivkovic. Alina Zara Kasim.
All right, so congratulations to the College of Liberal Arts graduates. Woo! You can now move your tassels from the right to the left side of your cap. Now it is my pleasure to present the candidates from the 2019 Casperson School of Graduate Studies. Woo! And before I invite all of the candidates to rise, I'd like to give a special mention to one graduate, Barbara Morrison. Barbara is 81 years young and graduating with a 4.0 GPA. All right, and in her honor, she will be the first Casperson graduate to receive her degree today. Now, the candidates for the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Letters, Doctor of Medical Humanities, Master of Arts in Teaching, Master of Education, Master of Fine Arts in Poetry and Poetry in Translation, Master of Letters, Master of Medical Humanities, and Master of Finance. Please rise as the marshals indicate. All right. Madam President, I have the highest honor and greatest privilege to present to you these degree candidates from the Casperson School of Graduate Studies and ask that you grant them degrees with rights and privileges and responsibilities thereto attached and to which they are rightfully entitled.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority of the Board of Trustees of Drew University, I confer upon you the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Letters, Doctor of Medical Humanities, Master of Arts in Teaching, Master of Education, Master of Fine Arts and Poetry in Translation, Master of Letters, Master of Medical Humanities, and Masters in Finance. I now invite each of you to the platform to receive your diploma.
Barbara S. Morrison. George Michael Beck, Jr. Peter H. Mabley. Brian M. Shetler. Joanna Gower Edge. Elizabeth Mary McKenna. Christopher Harding Tamboro. Margaret M. Terry. Kira Eden Whitehead. Lise Ann Cooper. Brenda Hall. Daniel J. Willever. Katrina Maria Annan. Antonio Arche. Caitlin Ann Began. Camille Elizabeth Berger. Zoe Camp. Hope Felicia DiDio. Lauren Marie Eager. Rachel A. Fintz. Lauren Olivia Mastropiro. Nevin Matthew. Michelle Samantha Morris. Michelle Pazik. Alexandra Kaylee Rolfe. Elena Salim. Angela Marie Schooner. Alexia Nicole Thorpe. Robert De Palma, Jr. Amelia A. Dominowski. Amy Elizabeth Demarest. Nancy Lynn Dreyfus. Caitlin Erin McGee. Kaylin Elizabeth Bresky. Sherwin J. Byer. Ping Hua Chu. Kevin James Fisher. Jiranat Panishkarn. Robert Silano. Arushi Shrivastava. Michael Weiser.
Congratulations to the graduates from the Casperson School. At this time, the Casperson School graduates can move their tassel from the right to the left. Somewhere, someone once said, "Good things come to those who wait." And the theological school graduates have waited a long time for this moment. And so good things await, my friends. Will the candidates for the degrees, Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Ministry, Master of Sacred Theology, Master of Divinity, Master of Arts, and Master of Arts in Ministry, please rise? Madam President, I have the high honor and the great privilege of presenting to you these degree candidates from Drew Theological School and ask that you grant them their degrees with all of the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto attached and to which they are rightfully entitled.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the authority of the Board of Trustees of Drew University, I confer upon you the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Ministry, Master of Sacred Theology, Master of Divinity, Master of Arts, and Master of Arts in Ministry. I now invite each of you to the platform to receive your diploma.
To J. L. Beulah. Amy J. Chase. Suzanne Winona Duchesne. Elizabeth McLean Fries. Midori Elizabeth Azuma Hartman. Kwang Yu Lee. Peter N. McClellan. Michael T. Sniffen. Erica Brian Ramirez. Hyunsu Jo. Pamela Lynn Davis. Paul Anthony Douglas Walthall. Roy Brandon Grubbs. Shane G. Hilliard. Willie Jernell Keaton Jr. Heejo Lee. Michelle Maldonado. Catherine J. Myers. Joanne E. Ponwitz. Veronica L. Price. Valerie Denise Piles. Ji Man Yu. Il-du Sung. Elon J. Sylvester. Anna D. Thomas. Alan Patrice Walker. Helen Cynthia Wingate. Jelki G. Arvelo. Tanya R. Bryan. Troy Douglas Elke. Maria Victoria Ang Paras. Arnaldo Sanchez. Kurt Von Howen. Christopher Lee Scott Whitaker. Sharon Kimberly Williams. Grace Olufunmike Akimbodi. Dakrel Bach. Anne-Marie Brown. Yasin Shabazz Ali Cobb. Olivia Cunningham D'Agostino. Cheryl T. Fowler. Sungjin Hong. Devon Alfred Horton. Ik Chang Jin. Younggu Kang. Yun Sun Lee. Sankub Lee. Carmela Simons Marsh Pearl. TJ McCabe. Leif Daniel McClellan. Jason T. Mitchell. Marcena Eleazar Munjan. Laura Quackenbush Steele. Jennifer Lynn Summers. Joanne Spencer. Marisa Nicole Vandervak. Paul Leonard Weather Sr.
At this time, the theological school graduates may move your tassel to the right, from the right to the left side of your cap. Congratulations to all of our graduates of the class of 2019. Congratulations to the family and friends and loved ones and significant others, and to the faculty who have supported each and every one of these students along the way. Thank you. Graduates, you are now prepared with not just the knowledge you have learned here at Drew, but with a commitment to your community, a desire to engage in lifelong education, and the goal of making the world a better place, or as in the mission of Drew, very simple: do the world's good. And as you go forward, I encourage you to follow the university motto, freely you have received, freely give. Now, I want to just take one moment for a thank you and a shout out to every single person on our team, led by Barb Bresnahan in my office, with deep support of many, many other offices and team members here on campus, for producing this today. It took literally a year of planning since last year. Thank you, team. Before I ask Dean Crieris to join me at the podium and we come to the very end of our ceremony, we're almost there, I want to take a moment to thank everyone for your cooperation during this indoor ceremony. I have two small logistical requests, and I ask that you really take them to heart. They involve safety, and they involve truly love for everyone who is in this room, because everyone is just as eager to get where they're going as everyone else. So first, I ask you please remain seated while our faculty and platform party recess. Once this has happened, please remain seated. I will ask all family members and guests to continue to remain seated while our graduates recess. If you stay in your seats, you will be able to actually see them recess from the room. Graduates, please follow the instructions of your faculty marshals. One last time, you have to follow the instructions of your faculty. Second, once the graduates have left, guests can exit from all doors and reconnect with their graduates at the proper school receptions listed on your program. This orderly exit will keep us safe, most importantly, and allow us to actually exit more quickly. Now I would like to have Dean Crieris please join me at the podium. The chairman of our board of trustees and CLA class of 1985 will close out our ceremony and welcome you as our newest alums.
Thank you, Marianne, and congratulations to the class of 2019 across all 3 schools. Congratulations. Now, there are some prepared remarks, and I will follow them. I promise, Marianne. But this is my last time as chair addressing this audience, and I'd just like to take a moment to say one thing. And that is to say, one thing I've learned about Drew over my experience with Drew, and I graduated in 1985, and I think you've seen it here today. This is an incredibly diverse community, diverse across many aspects, and I'm speaking mainly to our students in all 3 schools, live and love and appreciate that diversity, please. I beg you. Appreciate it, learn from it, and please learn from each other. And my real prayer is among that diverse culture and understanding, you will appreciate each other. And one of you will stand here, my prayer, and it won't be a 5'10", brown hair, brown-eyed, white man giving this address. So please heed that and learn from each other, I beg you. Now, on behalf of our Board of Trustees, our alumni, congratulations to the class of 2019 graduates. Thank you for your contributions to your community and for being supportive of one another throughout your Drew experience. Regardless of what you have studied or the activities in which you participated, the relationships that you have forged here, and your relentless pursuit to continuously improve our university has made it a better place. As you leave here today, I urge you to think about how you will continue to be an engaged member of the Drew community. Most of you were very involved in activities while you were a student, and I would encourage you to continue that involvement. Keep up to date on Drew by reading the Alumni Magazine, and stay engaged with Drew on social media. Share your wonderful experiences at Drew with high school students and others you meet. Volunteer to come back as an alum to share your talents. Network with Drew students once you have launched your career. And please support the annual fund to help future students attend Drew as others have helped you. I'm pleased now to officially welcome you into membership into our Alumni Association. You are now a member of a talented, diverse, and vibrant community of alumni more than 20,000 strong in all 50 states and over 80 countries across the globe. This means that just about anywhere you go, there will be a Drew alum welcoming you in their home. As alumni, you will always be members of the Drew community and will always be welcome back to the Forest. Once again, on behalf of all alumni, congratulations to all graduates and to their parents and relatives who have supported them. And welcome to our community of alum. Graduates and guests, I ask you to rise and sing the alma mater. Please remain standing for the benediction and recessional. Thank you all.
Well, the classes have been completed, the finals taken, the diplomas given, the alma mater sung. There's only one thing left to do, and that's to go. There's a world that awaits you out there, so go. There are trees in dire circumstances that may not green, and they need you to be advocates. There are people out there who will be called disabled that need you to see them as abled and give them a hand. There are people out there because of their sexual orientation that will not be accepted and need you to say you are wonderfully made by the Creator. There are people out there who are poor and homeless and need you to be hope and justice and mercy in the world. So go. The world is waiting for you. And as you go, may the blessings of God Almighty go with you, Creator, Redeemer, and Sustainer. Amen.